So I recently uploaded a 3+ hour declutter on this entire unit, and you thought we were done with the makeup decluttering? We're not. Today I'm actually going to be decluttering my entire affordable and drugstore makeup collection, which I store right here in this IKEA unit. Now, the reason that I store these items separately from the high end is because it helps me stay organized when I'm searching for products for certain videos, since I do a lot of drugstore based videos versus high-end based videos. So purely for the reasons of my job and organization, drugstore makeup's here. And I definitely need to refresh this because, especially with drugstore and affordable items, they are constantly discontinuing items. So it definitely is a category that needs refreshed every 6 to 12 months. I say this every single declutter video. If you're here to see somebody get rid of half of their collection, that's not what I do. But I will be going through everything, giving you guys my thoughts and opinions, so you get like hundreds of reviews, and we're gonna just refresh this entire collection. Now, if you're watching this and you think you've already seen the drugstore declutters, you probably have. This one is the long one for my friends who just love to have a nice long declutter video in the background. The reason that I split them up this year, if you're watching this, I'm currently on maternity leave and thought I'd get up the whole thing for you, but I did break this up into parts earlier, so you're not going crazy. We'll start off with the complexion portion, then eyes, then lips, and I will see you guys at the finish line. This is the first drawer we're getting into. I'm gonna pull it out onto my makeup vanity so we can see everything clearly for this drawer specific, because it's obviously chaotic, but I keep some primers. It's supposed to be on this side, and then foundations over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and split up, and we'll start off with the primers and lay those all out. Primers first. Here is the entirety of my drugstore primer collection / affordable. I'm gonna say drugstore, but you know what I mean. So e.l.f. runs the category in the affordable market. If you are looking for the best primer, a safe bet is always e.l.f. They have all of their putty primers, which are extremely popular, which I will admit I haven't used in a while, but I do enjoy them. I know they no longer sell the acne fighting putty primer, which I barely used anyways. In fact, this is completely unused. I must have replaced it. I've used this before, but sometimes when they send me PR items and I already have them, I'll replace the older one out. So this one's actually untouched, but I'm going to give that one away then. That's perfect. In the summers, I really enjoy their Stay Cool Primer Stick. It's just something cooling, lightly hydrating. This is another phenomenal summer primer from them. It also has SPF. It's coming for Super Goop, but I like it. Their jelly primers are also extremely popular, and I really enjoy them. So we're keeping most of the e.l.f. They're great for content and just great quality overall. Physicians Formula actually did their take at the putty primer. It's fine. It's a good primer, but I think I'll stick with the e.l.f. I'm happy with the e.l.f., so I'm going to get rid of this one. This Revlon Rose Glow face gloss is fine. It is a little glittery, which I don't love that about this, so I don't use Revlon too much anyways on my channel. It's not a bad product, but for now, it's not relevant, so I will be giving this one away. These are my Milani primers. I love this smoothing primer. And I love the Skin Quench. I hate how thick the SPF BFF is. Like, it's okay, it's not bad, but I honestly will not reach for this, so I'm gonna declutter this. Hard Candy has some of my all-time favorite affordable primers, but also some of my least favorite primers. So they recently redid their entire primer line, and they launched, I think, 5 or 6 in this packaging. These are the 2 I decided to keep. They are amazing. The Smooth Unlock is pretty much a blurring primer for the entire face. It's a filter. The Glow Unlock, I hate the smell of it, but it's pretty. But I think their best work is the Glow Serum Primer. I hope they're not going to phase this out, but this one is incredible. This one is just okay if you know how to use it. It dries so quickly and you can't put too much on, but I'm gonna hold on to that. However, this one they did in collaboration from the Girl Scouts is actually one of the worst primers I've ever used. This is a foul primer, so we're getting rid of that. I suppose this is more of a skincare item from L'Oreal, but sometimes I'll put it on my under eyes to hydrate, and I do really like it. It has that weird, you know, questionable looking applicator, but I do like this. I'll keep it to hydrate my under eyes. And you know, I am a fan of L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, which I'm always replacing with new ones since they send a lot in PR. So I've somehow ended up with 2 of the 902. So let me check the batch codes. So I think this one is the older one, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I have lighter ones of this Maybelline. I don't know where they went. They're probably in another drawer, but I will use those for bronzer. And then I also have the Serum Grippy and Poreless Jelly. These are new primers from Maybelline and are still very relevant for my content, so I'm going to hold on to these. I have this primer from Catrice. It's the Smoother Plumping Primer Concentrate. I don't really use this, so I'm going to declutter this. Makeup Revolution, sometimes I'm not a huge fan of their dupes, but I do feel like they did a good job with this one. And I don't love the Set It Up primer from ColourPop, but sometimes I do mess around. No. Do I want it? Because I do cover ColourPop on my channel, so I'll keep it for that reason. But, if I was not in this situation, I would not hold on to this. CoverGirl also recently redid their primer line, so these are the ones that I've held on to. They're pretty good. NYX is also pretty known for their primers. These are their most viral runs, so I'm going to keep these. And so in total, let's see how many we're decluttering. 6, 7 of them I no longer will be keeping, and I'll be keeping the rest of these. Like I said, I don't declutter half of my makeup, okay? We're just refreshing things. So 7 are down. I can put these back now. All right, here are my foundations. I have a lot of duplicate shades just because I get sent a lot in PR, and so I never really get sent my perfect shade match. So I mix and match. But anyways, let's go through all of these foundations. These are really, really beautiful. I mix both of these shades, even though they are both too dark for me right now. But I love these from NYX. Here are my e.l.f. base products. The Soft Glam Satin is one of my favorites. I saw they just came out with a concealer. I'm so excited to try that. This tinted moisturizer from Wet n Wild is one of the best you'll put on your face from the affordable market. And Photo Focus is decent. I like to have this in my arsenal, but I haven't used it as much recently. This is a fairly new product, so I'll hold on to that. A little Chanel dupe, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and declutter both of these. I simply do not like the products that much. This is actually one of the worst, clumpiest, patchiest products from Physicians Formula I've ever used. So that one's going. And this one's just a little bit dry, but my main issue with this is the color gets so orange. And I find that with a lot of Revolution foundations is that they oxidize, and this is no exception. I do like the Skin Silk, though, a lot more. I personally hate this from ColourPop. If you saw my worst makeup video, this was in it. But it's the only one I have from ColourPop, so for video purposes, I'll hold on to it. Flower Beauty had such a good foundation. This was one that I always kept stock in my collection, but since Flower Beauty is no more, we'll declutter these. I love the Conceal and Perfect stick from Milani. The skin tint I didn't get a bunch of use out of, honestly. Don't love it, but it still is a popular item in the line, so I'll keep it. These just launched this year from CoverGirl. They're decent, so I'll keep them. And Juvia's Place, I'm going to get rid of one of these shades because it's too yellow for me. This is decent. It's a little sticky, but I do love how hydrated it makes the skin look, and it's very full coverage. If you want something hydrating and light coverage, I definitely recommend the Neutrogena. I am going to declutter the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation because I haven't featured it in a video in such a long time, so it doesn't make sense to keep it. This is actually one of my favorite complexion products from Makeup Revolution. Like I say, they're hit or miss, mostly miss, but this is a hit from them. I do enjoy this product from Catrice. This is their Tinted Serum Foundation. It's not as good as their liquid coverage, which I'll show you in a moment, but I do not need 3 shades. Let's see. 36 Cool. So I'm just going to get rid of this one because it looks pretty yellow. But like I say, I mix my shades a lot. This is my favorite from Catrice. It's one of the best, most affordable foundations in my opinion. Super full coverage. You know, I think they've gotten rid of these, which I'm surprised by because these had a moment. They were so popular. But it's not in their website anymore, so I'm going to declutter that. Maybe it's in reformulation, but don't need them for work, so not going to keep them. Essence Keep Me Covered, wasn't a fan. Well, that's a lie. It was fine, but I haven't used it at all recently, so I just don't need it. Essence Foundation Stick. I actually really dislike this product. It sits on top of the skin. It was one of the worst of the years, but it is new. So yeah, I'm going to keep it, but I don't recommend it. I'm going to get rid of one of the shades. I only need one. Here are my Maybelline collection, both of which are some of my favorite drugstore foundations. They do a phenomenal job. And all of these I mix to get my perfect shade. So we're keeping both of these. But from what I have from Maybelline, the 2 foundations, they're incredible. Both of them. All-time favorites. They beat a lot of high-end formulas. L'Oreal also does a really great job. The True Match Nude is really beautiful. It has a nice glow to it, lighter coverage. I'll get rid of the in-between shade and I'll just mix these two. The Lumi Lay Glow Tint, it needs to be applied properly. It's like actually not a very good quality product, but when applied properly, the finish of it is so beautiful, but it dries so quickly. But anyways, I do love the way this sits on the skin. So it's not a perfect product, but it does look nice. True Match is kind of a classic in the drugstore market right now. It had a resurgence when it was reformulated as well. I don't need N4, so I'm going to get rid of that, but I don't know where the top to this is. Just going to get rid of the darkest shade that I'll never use. Love my Age Perfect. Super underrated from L'Oreal. So L'Oreal does do a good job. And then their Infallible line, I loved all throughout high school. I thought they were amazing. I haven't used Infallible recently. I can tell you I used to love it. I'm going to have to refresh my memory and do a little re-review on this. But I know I did used to really love this foundation. So this is what we're holding on to. And overall, we are decluttering 13 foundations. So what is that? 20 items so far? Also, I was looking for these. They were in another drawer. But these are all of like the glowy beauty filter situations. So I just want to tell you my reviews on them really quickly. I do really like the Maybelline Perfectors. However, there was a learning curve with them because they can peel. They dry super duper quickly, but they are a great way to enhance makeup. But my favorite from the drugstore are the e.l.f. I think these are the most high quality. You can do the most with them, which is why I have multiple shades. Again, I like the flexibility that I get with these. Co Beauty is a really great dupe of Charlotte Tilbury. Catrice, I've got to be honest, I really can't remember. I remember less when it comes to the more affordable makeup because I'm not using them as much as I am high-end. But what I can say is I'm going to get rid of the shade Medium. I just don't need this shade. And then the Essence I wasn't a huge fan of, and it's a little too deep for what I prefer to use this type of product for. So I will be decluttering these two, but I wanted to quickly show you my reviews on these. Probably not up to your standard of organized, but for me it is. And I might end up dispersing stuff as I declutter through more items, but I have foundations on this side, primers on this side, and then also, you know, my glowy tinted bases as well running throughout here. It's better than before. So the next drawer we're actually going to do, we'll see, I might end up moving these guys down here. But this is my very messy concealers, correctors, and powder drawer. So let's clear this one out. Right, here are the concealers, and then here are the color correctors. I'm going to start off, I think, with the color correctors. So for the pot color correctors, Catrice is the one that I use the most. I really don't use the Lottie London or the Pixie, so I'm going to get rid of these two. The NYX is very viral. This is that Fix Stick, so I'll keep that. And these look very similar, but they're not. These are the Milani correctors and then the Revlon corrector. I'm going to get rid of the Revlon. I do have this in a regular formula. I just have a lot of correctors. I don't need this many. But I do really like the Milani ones, so I'm going to keep these. If you watch my worst of 2025 video, this under eye brightener liquid from Catrice is terrible, which is just so funny because I love the pot. Still relevant for content, but probably next year this will be decluttered because it's terrible. Some other correctors I will be keeping will be the Maybelline and the Essence. Pink color correctors are very in right now. I know the e.l.f. color correctors are kind of crazy colors, but I like these for maybe making a foundation more cool toned, so I will hold on to these. The Physicians formula, similar to the e.l.f. but a little bit more sheer, and I don't really need these colors. I'm gonna hold on to the peach corrector because that's one I actually use for myself, but the other shades, you know what, I'll keep the violet one because I don't have another purple one, but I will definitely be getting rid of the green and the yellow since I already have that one from e.l.f. and I just prefer that formula better. Okay, so color correctors will move out of the way. Let's get into the rest of the regular concealers. Surprisingly, I really don't enjoy Makeup Revolution foundations. I quite enjoy their concealers. I've had good experiences with all of these. I think the Eye Bright is the most unique. I am going to get rid of the shade Porcelain because I don't need that one. This is a nice sheer buildable hydrating concealer from Physicians Formula. Gonna keep that. Going to declutter this Flower Beauty concealer. No longer a brand, so that one can go. I do really enjoy the Revolution Skin Awaken concealer. I'm going to declutter shade 30, but I want the formula around. These are both nice fuller coverage concealers. The Milani was one of my favorites for a long time, and Juvia's Place is nice and thick. NYX Bear With Me is very popular, so I'll be holding on to that. This one is more of a fuller coverage dry concealer, which is really great for long days. This is the Catrice True Skin. Essence wanted to go ahead and discontinue their best product. I'm actually really pissed about that. This is the Keep Me Covered concealer. It's a great dupe for the Tower 28, so thank goodness Tower 28 exists. Why would you do that, Essence? So we'll get rid of that, unfortunately. I have to say, on the affordable market, Kokie has my favorite full coverage concealer. So we're keeping that. And then, as you know, e.l.f. is known for their concealers. Am I the only one who feels like I cannot find a good shade? I always have to mix my e.l.f. concealers. So I have two of the original camo concealer and two of the hydrating. Be warned, I really hate this. This was worst of 2025, but it is a new product, so I'm holding on to it. And then I have some of the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Cream Concealer, which I enjoy. I'm just going to get rid of this shade because I don't need 3. That's crazy. L'Oreal Infallible Concealer is pretty good. And then I have a couple of different Maybelline Superstay Concealers. I believe this one replaced this one. So we'll get rid of that. These hold lots of nostalgia for me. I even used to use these in my makeup kit, especially the color correcting shades. I don't know why I have so many. Let me get rid of a few shades. Like, I don't think I need the lightest one. So the shade Honey right here sometimes can be used as a really nice color correcting tone. Okay, I'll get rid of 122. I know 3 sounds like a lot, but we'll make use of these. And then we are decluttering 14 different concealers, a lot of shade repeats and whatnot, but this is what's leaving. All right, here is my powder collection. I have pressed over here, loose over here. Let's get started with our pressed. So I first have these from Juvia's Place. These are the powder foundation. Let's see if there's a color that I don't want. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the lightest color, Valencia, but I will be keeping this one. No questions asked. These are my favorite drugstore launch, honestly, of 2025. So all of these are staying. I also have 3 different e.l.f. powders. So I love the powder foundation. The Halo Glow setting powder is really unique. The only one I don't love is this basic one, but I do cover e.l.f. a lot in my videos. So for that reason, I will be keeping it. This Revlon one has gone pretty viral. It is very blurring until it's not. I guess kind of fades into the skin pretty quickly, but I will keep it for videos. This is one of the best powder foundations that you can get from the drugstore at Ulta from JCat. And I will be keeping this banana powder from Essence as well, which is nice just to highlight the face. This has long been discontinued. I just held on to it because I really liked it, but I'm not using it anymore. It's from Maybelline. They have redone their powder foundation, so I'll get rid of this one. And then this, completely unused for me. I bought this in Japan. You couldn't get this color, so I was excited. However, never used it because guess what? This color won't look good on me, so that was a waste of money. I have these Beauty Creations pressed powders, which are pretty nice. So this is the one that I'll use to actually highlight my face, brighten my face. And then this pink one, which pretty much looks like a blush, I'm keeping for that pink under eye trend. And these are decent powders, nothing crazy to write home about, but I like them. I also have this from Physicians Formula, this Butter Glow pressed powder. It's pretty smooth and it has like a really natural highlight. It's not a bad product, but I just don't see myself really reaching for it. This, you know, I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It's similar to that. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now, loose powders. I'm going to get rid of this Essence Flawless Skin Trio. This is one of the worst setting powders. It is extremely dry. I'm also going to declutter this one from Physicians Formula. It leaves a white cast on my skin, and it's just one of those powders that's, dare I say, a little too slippery, a little too finely milled. So I'll get rid of that. I'm not particularly in love with this, but I do talk about Catrice a lot, so I will be keeping the under eye powder. I was about to declutter this because this is a powder I don't like. However, for video purposes, I will keep it. This is the Conceal and Perfect powder from Milani, and it is very blurring, but my hesitations with this is that even though it's translucent, it turns my under eyes orange, so I don't like it. Holding on to the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This has since been repackaged, but it still is the same. I really like this CoverGirl pressed powder. It is very blurring, but my issue with this is the packaging. It's so cheap. It's so terrible. We have the Maybelline Fit Me powder, which is one of my favorites. It is a bit heavy, I think for more mature skin. So I don't love this as much as I loved it when I was younger, but it's still really gorgeous. So I have 2. I'm going to go ahead and declutter my older one because I had 2 of Fairlight. And then the last setting powder I have from the drugstore is the Infallible Blurfection, excuse me. So I have a yellow shade and a pink shade. And I'm going to go ahead and keep both, which means how much did we declutter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that's pretty good. Right over here, the 7, because I did have a lot of powders, but not too bad. Okay, I think we'll correctors, concealers, exactly how I did before, and then we'll see. I can probably fit some of these in here. Okay, amazing. So now this is much more breathing room. Primers, foundations, and then concealers, setting powders, and then along here I have, you know, the tinted glowy primers. Now this next drawer is crazy, you guys. This is setting sprays and I guess bronzers, I think what once was. So I'm gonna pull out first the setting sprays and then we'll do bronzers and such. All right, setting sprays. I feel like I don't have a ton. I mean, I do have a good amount, but let's see what we have. This first one is from Trixie, excuse me. Trixie Cosmetics. This is the First Base Priming Spray. It's an interesting concept, but I didn't end up reaching for it as much as I thought I would. So I'm going to get rid of this. Milani is quite known for their setting sprays, but the one that I'm just not going to reach for is the sunscreen one. So I'm going to get rid of that. Love, love, love this Ulta Beauty Dewy Glaze setting spray. It is so good. And the Pretty Fresh from ColourPop is fine just to set in makeup. It doesn't do too much, but it is my only ColourPop setting spray, so I'll hold on to it. I am going to declutter the Flower Beauty. This one was decent, but unfortunately they are no longer around. The e.l.f., I like the product. I hate the sprayer. You can barely get any product from this. These are two, or let's add this one in, 3 very viral, affordable sprays. So these will be staying in my collection. This Pixie can be heavy and oily on the skin, but I like it because it does give instant results. So I'll be keeping this. I will be getting rid of this Wet n Wild. I'm pretty low on it anyways, and I haven't reached for it for a while. We have the Essence Fix and Last setting sprays, which are just okay. I'm gonna get rid of the long-lasting one because it dries my skin out. Then we have Hard Candy setting sprays. So they did recently go through a revamp of their setting sprays. So these are the nice new ones that I'm going to hold on to, and they're very, very good. And I will get rid of the old Hard Candy setting spray. And I'm not too sure about this because I like Catrice setting sprays. However, this one in particular, I do not reach for. They have other ones that I just don't have at the moment in my collection that are better. So you know what? I am going to declutter this. So that leaves us with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll be getting rid of 7 setting sprays from that drawer. I already have liquid and cream bronzers laid out right here. So let's get into it. All right, guys. Here's all of the liquid and cream bronzers in my collection. So I have all of my bronzing drops here. We have some liquid form here, my cream form here, and then all of my sticks, which I did not realize I had such an intense stick collection. So let's get started with the bronzing drops. I know for a fact I will not be keeping this one. I just don't think the undertone in this one is very special. This one is from Makeup Revolution, so I'm gonna drop this. I don't love this category of product to begin with, but I do occasionally use them for reviews and whatnot, but I don't see myself using that. Milani, if I had to give you a favorite, is one of my favorite because they are very, very smooth. So I'm gonna actually keep both of these because this is my favorite bronzing drop from the drugstore. We have MCO Beauty, which is a dupe of, I think Drunk Elephant was who they were originally duping, and they do very, very good dupes. So I'm going to keep this for potential dupe videos. I am going to declutter the Physicians Formula Bronzing Serum. Not anything bad to say about it. I have other Physicians Formula products that I prefer, and like I said, just not my category of product that I like. And then lastly, we have the e.l.f., which e.l.f. is such a popular brand. I'm going to keep it, but it's fine. It's a little too gold for me. Now going into the liquid category here, we have the e.l.f. ones, which I think are really, really nice. I think they did a good job with these. Low-key, Physicians Formula has one of my favorite liquid bronzers. I think this one is fantastic. You get so much product. It's very smooth to apply. I just hate the packaging, but it's so, so good. Another MCO Beauty dupe, which is really nice. And then Physicians Formula also came for Charlotte Tilbury a little bit. I mean, all of these are coming for Charlotte Tilbury. I like all of these. I think Milani is really, really great. It's a little thicker. It lasts a little bit longer. And then e.l.f. has their version as well, which mine looks a little questionable. It just needs a little bit of a mixing. Don't worry too much about that. But all of these are nice in their own way. So I'm going to keep all of these. I don't think there's going to be too much that I declutter here. In terms of like the creams, I am only going to go ahead and get rid of the ColourPop Soul, which there's nothing wrong with this. I just don't really use it. But all of the others, like I really enjoy the Physicians Formula. This is a great dupe for Makeup by Mario. Palladio has a really nice one, which I think is a great dupe for the Say. It's a little slicker, but very, very good. We have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers, of course, which I think I'm going... Do I need all of these? Excuse me. Do I need all of these colors? You know what? They're so small. It's fine. Also, these are two of the best cream bronzer formulations on the market. They both perform very similar, both the Makeup Revolution and the Milani. So keep an eye out for these if you're on the lookout for good cream ones. And then, you know, I love Beauty Creations. I think they are the future of affordable brands. They just have really set a new standard. So I'm going to keep their little cream palette here. It's a little bit of a Makeup Forever dupe. All right, sticks. I'm a little overwhelmed here. I have a lot of different shades because I do like light colors. I like more contoury tones, but I also like bronzing tones, which is why I have a lot of 3s here. But I see this stick from Essence. This is the Baby Got Bronze. This is not very, very good at all. I mean, actually, I decluttered a more bronze tone. I didn't realize I must have gotten this in a PR package. This is more of a contour tone. But anyways, I don't love this formula, so I'll get rid of this. And then Makeup Revolution, they also have this stick. This also came out in a line of blushes that you'll probably see. And this is fine. This gets the job done, but I have much more exciting options in front of me. So I'll declutter that. Let's see, some of my favorites here that I absolutely won't be decluttering will be the Morphe. This blends out so easily. I mean, Physicians Formula can put down a bronzer, wouldn't you know? This Butter Glow and Go, it also has a blush stick on the side. Both sides are absolutely amazing, so I'll keep that. Also really love Beauty Creations bronzer sticks. I have, again, a more toasty shade and a more neutral shade, so we'll keep those. I have this CoverGirl contour balm. I don't remember, did I have more bronzy tones of this? Anyways, I keep this because this is a great, really gray contour tone. And then not all of these are bronzers, but this is a new product from Maybelline this year. These are the lifter sticks. So you can do a lot of different things with these. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the shade 20. Well, no, this is supposed to be like my all over shade, my brightening shade, and my contour shade. And since it's a new product, I do need it for review purposes. And then that leads us into this next category of sticks that I've left behind. These I have like a multitude of shades of. So let's see. These ColourPop sticks, I don't think I need 3. Okay, Moonstone Beach is definitely too dark. So we'll get rid of that. And then I'll keep my other 2 tones here. We have the Catrice Magic Shaper. So these have a highlight on one side and then a contour on the other side. I see this one is completely unused. So there we go. That's an easy way to narrow it down. But again, one of these, you know, I'll use to contour my nose with, and then I'll use to contour my face with. I like it a little bit deeper. These are pretty good. And then we have the Makeup Revolution version, which I have the light version of, which is actually too light for me. I like the lightening side, but the medium, see, I like the light side of the light, but I prefer the bronzing side of the medium. So I have one that I prefer for each. I think I'm just going to keep the medium because I have other options for brightening stick, which would be the Maybelline, and in the Essence you'll see too. Then we have the Wet n Wild Duo Ended Contour Stick. This ends up in my collection periodically. This looks crazy. Wait, this looks old. Do you see that? Is that mold? Wait, what? This is fairly new. I'm actually really shocked by that. Huh. Okay. I was gonna keep this. Now I'm not. Okay, and then finally, we have the Essence Contouring Duo Sticks. And why do I have so many? You know? So we have fair, light, and medium. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the fair, and I'll keep the light and medium. And then overall, we are decluttering 10 different options here. So a little better. Wow, my powder bronzer collection seems kind of small compared to everything else. But you know what, you guys? The Drugstore has amazing powder bronzers. Like some of my all-time favorites just in general are in this collection here. So first off, Kimchi Chic. I really like this bronzer a lot. I don't have any issues with this. I am, however, going to declutter it because I haven't reached for it and the color is just slightly warmer than what I've wanted to reach for, and I just think the Drugstore has better options. So I'm going to get rid of this because I don't love the shade, but it's still a good product. L'Oreal has a amazing creamy bronzer. Maybelline City bronzer has been my favorite powder bronzer for quite some time. It just goes on like butter. I am going to declutter the ColourPop Super Shock bronzers. They no longer sell these, so that's just for work purposes. Physicians Formula, as you know, are very, very known for their Butter Glow bronzer. So I have the classic Physicians Formula, which I'm going to keep. And this one's fairly new. It's the bronzer and blush combo. I love this as well. So I'm going to keep that. This was one of my all-time favorite affordable bronzers. But unfortunately, I don't have a need for it. So I'll get rid of that from Flower. But luckily, the Revolution version exists. This is a great powder bronzer. I do think the Flower's a bit better, but we get what we get. This is the super creamy Milani bronzer. At some point, I need the shade number 1 because this is a little bit too dark for me, especially in the winter time, but it is super duper silky. And then this is the primer infused bronzer from e.l.f. and then which is fine. It's not like an all-time favorite, but it's fine. And then the NYX Buttermelt, which is a very viral one. Don't love the color that I have, but okay. I'm only getting rid of 3, but there was not much in the collection to begin with. So I'm happy about that. Highlighters. I have all of my creams and liquids over here and all of my powders, which after doing some research, gosh, powder highlighters at the drugstore, I feel like are a bit of a dying breed here. But let's push these to the side and focus on the creams and liquids. So I have pretty much every shade of the L'Oreal Lumi Glass because I did a partnership with them. And these are pretty nice, but I don't need every shade. So I'm just gonna see which ones I feel as though I could get rid of. Ooh, I like that one. See, and these all will look similar, but then again, I'm like, but I like them. Okay, I'll get rid of Glassy Pink Ballet, but this one is so pretty too. I like these. I'm not a huge cream and liquid highlight fan overall. I still do review them because I feel like for somebody who hates them, then I can actually really weed out the ones that are good and bad. I do think this one is a little bit too golden, and I think I'm happy to keep these 3 because I do really like this almost for bare skin. It's a great Merit dupe. Let's see, CoverGirl has some as well. So we have this gorgeous rosy color and then also this one. The problem with really light ones though is I feel like they can make the skin look a little textured. Like I don't need both, but I guess I'll, like I like to layer this one over a blush, whatever. I'm keeping both. I don't have a lot. I really hate this from Pixi. I don't understand the hype. It ruins my makeup, but I do keep it because there is so much hype around it. I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands. So this is like the Charlotte Tilbury copycat section, but I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep Milani's version as well, which is okay. I will be decluttering this one from Lottie London. I just don't think it's very good. And I do think MCO Beauty did a good job of duping Charlotte Tilbury's, and I feel as though it's very high quality. So these are completely unopened because I replaced them. However, when I was looking online, it looks like they're trying to phase these out of the range, which is a shame because as someone who's so picky, these are very, very good from Makeup Revolution. They're the bright light highlighters, but for my job, I have to get rid of them. Not particularly keen on either of these. However, I like to keep them just to have one of the formula since ColourPop is still selling them. And one of my favorite drugstore liquid highlighters is this one from Physicians Formula. It is gorgeous. Probably looking here, liquid-wise, this one's my favorite. This Flower Beauty Day Glow was really, really nice as well if you liked that balmy kind of product. So I'm going to get rid of it, but I want to give it to one of my friends because it's very, very nice. I'm also going to get rid of this Catrice All Over Glow Tint. I just feel like the skin eats these up. They don't really do anything, so I'm going to get rid of that. And this is a very, very new product, so it's very much still usable. I just didn't like these colors on me. They looked too white on me, which I probably should have been able to tell. This is called Frosty the Snowman, but didn't end up liking these on me. And that's it for liquid highlights. Wow, I actually got rid of a lot. Now, powder highlights, I was looking, and I just feel like so many of these have been discontinued. For one of the best, glowiest, most scrumptious highlights, the Pixie one. Pixie, why did you discontinue this? I'm sick about that. I very hit or miss when it comes to Pixie. They honestly have very few products that I love. This was one of them, and they discontinued it. So, unfortunately, this one will go. I fear they're trying to phase out this Revlon Skin Lights highlighter as well, but it's still hanging on. There's some stock at Walmart, so keeping this one. I like this one. I also really like the Kimchi Chic one as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Catrice has a very, very nice, affordable highlighter formula. I'm gonna keep that. I am going to declutter this. This was a great little quad though. So this is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow Quad that came out with a limited edition collection, but since all of these shades were limited edition, has no use in my collection, but I think the idea of this was fantastic. Same thing with these guys. I love ColourPop's Valentine's Day collection. Their Valentine's Day collection and their holiday collections, I think, always eat, as the kids say. But they don't sell this anymore. They've completely repackaged these. So I'm gonna pass these on. Makeup Revolution has a lot of highlighters. So they have this one. Honestly, I don't even think I've used this one, so I can't give you a review on this one. But this is one that they tend to keep in their range. I feel like it's a permanent item for them, which is very rare for Makeup Revolution. If a product doesn't sell, baby, they get rid of it. But these are super nice. I really like these highlights. What are they called? I don't even know. But these ones are so, so good. And I would normally get rid of this one, but I actually love it as an all-over single shadow on the lid. So keeping all of these. I don't love this color from L'Oreal. It's a gold shade, but it's the only one I have of this formula, so I will keep it. And then this one's kind of a classic from the drugstore. And then these had a moment in time. This was during the very bright white metallic highlighter phase in 2016 that these were popular. I do believe they're phasing these out, but they still are available, so I'll keep them. And that's it. I mean, okay, we really whittled this down. How many am I decluttering? 1, 2, 3. This is 4, actually. Count it as 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. That is actually a lot, but I feel like the highlighter industry or that section of makeup has not been focused on lately, more so on the creams, if anything. So I actually had a lot of old, outdated products. Now, I'm not sure this organization is going to stay permanent because I'm hoping I can clear up some of the top drawers. Because, I mean, I have a lot of sections here. Liquid bronzers, powder bronzers, highlights, and setting sprays. But for now, I'm going to try and put them in a somewhat organized fashion in here. But we'll see. Okay, yeah, there was no way all of that was going to fit in this drawer, even with the declutter. So, TBD on where the highlights are going to go. But this ended up being like the bronzer / setting spray drawer. So setting sprays are in the back, and then I have liquid bronzing drops, cream bronzers, liquid bronzers. I have some sticks here, more sticks, and then powder here in this section, which it is nicely organized this way. But you know what we have to go over next? This is crazy. So say hello to my blush drawer. I can't even get it in camera. This is insane. So this isn't even all my blushes. You'll see why I felt this was an overwhelming task, section, if you will. I have more, but first let's get all of these separated from powders and creams. Lo and behold, my liquid and cream affordable blush collection. We have all types. I mean, this was a booming category this year, and I have to say, when it comes to the affordable market, they do a very, very good job. I like to have lots of options for colors, for certain looks, for viral colors that might pop off. Just giving myself those options in case I ever need to look for like any close dupes or anything. But let's get into it. So I'll start off up here. These are more of the cream format. I think the Milani Cheek Kiss are really nice. They're a little slicker than what I normally prefer, but these are the 4 main shades that they have. And these 2 that I have were limited edition, and these are actually unopened anyway, so I definitely want to give these away to some people that can use them. But really good formula, but a bit on the slick side. I think these are super underrated, and they're only $4. These are, or $5, excuse me. These are the Profusion cream blushes. So these I feel like are such a hidden gem, which is why I'm holding on to these. Love recommending these, and they're beautiful colors. Honest Beauty, it's been a while since I've looked at the brand, but they've completely changed their makeup. Honestly, I think they've stepped away, and you know, they're doing their body care, their baby products, which I did buy some for my baby. But anyways, this one was really nice, so I'm sad that they no longer sell it, but this one was old anyway, so it's gonna get decluttered no matter what. I have a few e.l.f. putty blushes, which are very much still a very popular blush formula. I like this blush formula. I don't think it's anything, you know, groundbreaking. This is a color that I have not yet broken into yet, or either that or I replaced it. But e.l.f. is a brand a lot of people have, so I like to have their products on hand. I honestly find this Morphe product to be a little bit overhyped. This definitely went through a super duper viral phase, and it's fine, I'll use it, but it's a little wet looking and Vaseline-y looking on the cheeks for me. I'm surprised that's all that I have really in the cream format. If you've watched me for a while, you know I do not like these Pixie Beauty blush formulas, but they continue to be a super viral product, so I just have to continue to hold on to them because I'm telling you, these keep popping up in videos that I make, so that's definitely a review purpose thing. This MCO Beauty, I think they have great dupes. I mean, you've heard me talk about them on and off throughout the declutters, but this is one where it's never really been relevant, or I've never reached for it, so I'm gonna give that one up. These Lottie London Cheeky Kiss cream lipsticks and blush sticks, so nice. One of the few products that I think works well for both cheeks and lips. That said, I am trying to reduce the brands that I cover just to make it a little easier for me to keep track, and Lottie London did not make the list for brands I'm reviewing in 2026 unless something goes off or crazy. So, sorry, they're getting the boot. But if I wasn't in this position, I would definitely hold on to these, but we have other options here, so it's fine. Other sticks that I have. The CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancers. These are like a balmy stick. They're decent, not an all-time favorite of mine, but these are a new product. I love these. These are from Beauty Creations. These are very, very affordable and super duper gorgeous. These are everything I love in a blush stick formula. So I undoubtedly plan on keeping these. These are one of my favorite affordable blush sticks. Guess we'll continue over here with the rest of the blush sticks. So these are the marbled blushes from Makeup Revolution, which I think are fine. They have this really beautiful marbled texture to them. I don't think they're a remarkable formula. I do love this shade, Peachy Pink. I did reach for this one a lot. They get the job done, and Makeup Revolution, I feel like, has really upped their quality. I know I got rid of the bronzer version, but I think the blushes are a little better. So I'll hold on to those. I have a few random blush sticks here. One of my favorite underrated ones is this one from Palladio. I think it gives the freshest look to the cheek. This is in the shade I'm Blushing. I think it's stunning. I wore it all of the time in Miami when I was dealing with that humidity. This was incredible. So I love this blush stick. I don't so much love this blush stick from Wet n Wild. I just feel like it never looks very smooth on my face. However, I find myself repurchasing this. I've repurchased this multiple times because I've come up with video ideas in which this was relevant, since Wet n Wild is such a affordable brand and it's kind of giving a little luminoso. I'll give this another chance, but this might be on the chopping block next time. I don't think any of these I'm going to get rid of because these are mostly individual formulas that I keep for reference to the brand. All of them are in that pinky peachy tone that I really love. So not super in love with the blush sticks from ColourPop, but they get the job done. I think Milani has nice stick formula, and I really like that they have a luminoso stick formula. So that is their kind of signature shade. And I can't believe e.l.f. is still selling these. I'm waiting for them to discontinue these. And they're $6 now. I feel like I used to pay like $1 for this. And this shade, Glimmered Guava, it looks horrible on my face. I don't really recommend this. Don't buy this. But if I ever do a worst of e.l.f. video, this one will be in it. We'll do like the squishy tube portion next, because I know there's a lot that I'm not gonna hold on to. Like these from Hard Candy, I did not like these at all. I don't really like the way that they blend into the cheeks. I also don't like the colors. So Hard Candy, there's some products I'm keeping from them, some I'm not. For the most part, I'm not focusing on the brand this year, but they do have some bangers. These ones, they just don't stand out. Now, you know Flower Beauty has to go, but these were some of the first liquid blushes I've ever used, and I loved these for years. So these hold some nostalgia for me, but they're gonna go. And one of the last products that they actually launched were these liquid blushes, which are gorgeous. So I cannot wait to give these to my friends because they are still pretty new condition. But gonna get out of my drawer. This is MCo's Beauty's take, I believe, on the Glossier. I haven't reached for these, so I'm going to say I don't need them. What else do we have? We have the Halo Glow Beauty Wands from e.l.f., which are a decent take on the Charlotte Tilbury. I think I like the contours a little bit better than the blushes, but they're okay. MCo Beauty, while I did get rid of the tubes, I really do think they did a good job duping Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, these are pretty undetectable of the difference between these and the OG, so definitely holding on to these. I really, really like these. They're a phenomenal dupe. And then I also have the collection from Milani of their liquid blushes. These are hit or miss. Some shades are totally fine, and then some shades I find apply a little patchy or just don't look very smooth on the face. So I've had inconsistent results with these, but they are a pretty popular product. One of my favorite liquid blush formulas, I mean, Juvia's Place, I wouldn't exactly call it an affordable brand, but it's not, you know, Sephora price point. I love, love, love their liquid blushes. I've ended up over time getting rid of the deeper colors and giving them to my friends. I have a friend with a deep dark complexion, and these are just like the best blushes on her, so I always try to give her those when I get Juvia's Place stuff. But these are all the colors that I've held on to and going to continue to love these. Another liquid blush formula, the Lumi liquid blushes, which I find to be a little inconsistent. Some shades I think apply very nice, and some I have not loved. I actually put this in like a couple worst of videos, a few shades here. I wouldn't necessarily recommend these, but you can get these to look pretty. I think blush is just one of those things where it's not that hard to formulate. As long as it doesn't break up your makeup underneath, you can get them to work. Profusion is one of those underrated formulas. Again, I really enjoyed their cream pot formula, but they also have this soft matte liquid blush formula, which is so good. One of my favorites. Oops. Love how affordable these are. So definitely holding on to these. The e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes, very nice. Really like these, like the way they blend into the cheek, but sometimes they can stick a little bit. So you gotta be careful, but for the most part, I still like these. If I'm being honest, haven't used the ColourPop liquid blushes that much. I definitely would not continue to grow my collection of these, but I do cover ColourPop, so we'll hold on to these, and these are still very much a hot seller from them. Going to Declutter this Diamond Filler Physicians Formula blush. I mean, it's a very average formula. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not going to use it that much. Physicians Formula I focus on for certain categories like bronzer. The blush, not really. So I'm going to declutter that. These launched this year from Moira, the Love Steady Shimmer Blushes. I wanted to love these because I love Moira, but honestly, these looked quite patchy on my face. The shimmers just weren't flattering, and these are very new. So I'm going to see if any of my friends want to try it out and see if it works for them. I got the whole range, and luckily I had only tried these two since these just don't work for me. So we'll give those away. And then lastly, don't love these shades of the Maybelline Sun Kisser liquid blushes, but these were very viral. I don't understand because I don't love them. They kind of soak right into my makeup and then they just make it look textured with the way that the shimmers are. I don't love these, but they're very popular. So I guess they're staying with me. And then in terms of decluttering, I have 22 blushes that are going off to better homes. Except for this one. I think this one and these small ones are old. The rest are new enough to be given away. This one's gonna be really quick. I just had in a separate bin all of my multi-finish little palettes or duos. So powder blush, cream blush. So all of these, I only have 3 different formulas. Like we have the Catrice Blush Affair. I think these are really nice, very underrated. So I definitely want to hold on to these. I can see myself talking about these. And then these Morphes are super duper hot right now. I mean, Morphe is a brand to watch, I think, for 2026. So definitely want to hold on to these. These are pretty good. I mean, I still think I like the one size better, but really good. I will be decluttering these from Makeup Revolution. I just don't think the quality is there. The highlight is really, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't stick to the skin very well. You can make the cream work fine. You can make the powder work fine, but nothing stands out about these. They feel cheap to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and declutter these. You guys, I'm so upset. I was just making sure, seeing and checking what is still available and what got discontinued since the last time I checked. And oh my gosh, the drugstore has gotten rid of so many powder gems. It makes me want to go back to the drugstore and buy more to find what's new, because clearly my collection is outdated. Let's see. I think this is really beautiful. I think last year I decluttered most of the shades, which I'm kind of regretting because these are gorgeous, from Koki. I like that. Okay. These were some of the best neutral blushes that the drugstore had to offer. Burt's Bees blushes, Toasted Cinnamon. These no longer exist. Isn't that sick? These were the best. I mean, I get it. Burt's Bees isn't really doing the makeup thing. But they did have the best blushes. But gotta go. Gotta make space. I believe Almay has or is trying to Declutter their Healthy Hue blushes. I think you can still find a few shades on Amazon. These were my all-time favorite blush, like pretty much, not just Drugstore. And I'm keeping them. I don't care if they're being discontinued. They're the best. They give the prettiest glow. Can't believe the Essence Satin Touch blushes, nowhere to be found. So Catrice Air blushes. Now these ones I didn't use very often anyways. They're fine formula. Powder blushes are not hard to formulate. But again, I can't believe those are being discontinued. You can see Flower Beauty, obviously, will be getting decluttered. At least I'm making space. Kimchi Chic. This is not being discontinued. It's a really beautiful pinky blush, so I'll hold on to this. I was about to declutter it, but I'm so mad right now. I'm keeping them. We also have the Juvia's Place. These are the blush duos, and they are very, very large. You get a lot of product in these, and they have very, very vibrant colors. Obviously, I kept the lighter ones, which are still quite vibrant, here for myself. I don't really love orange blush on myself too much, but I do use, I don't like this shade, but I like this shade. Anyways, e.l.f., I didn't realize this. They discontinued their bite-size face duos. These launched like 5 or 6 years ago. So that'll go. But e.l.f. does have one of the best, just classic rosy blushes. This is always rosy from them. It's their primer infused formula. Really nice, really affordable. Milani actually recently, I don't know if they reformulated, but they definitely are repackaging and remarketing their baked blushes. They also have their bronzers and highlights redone as well. So I'm going to get rid of Peach of Me. It's never been used, so that'll be great. I happen to have 2 Luminosos, so I'll get rid of that. But I don't know, I'll have to look into if these were reformulated or not and see if I need to pick up the new ones, because these are kind of a drugstore classic. Milani also, I believe they still have this in their line, Romantic Rose. I mean, how beautiful is this? It's just like a neutral wearable blush. We have the Essence Baked Blushes. These are really nice. I mean, they're definitely very, very glowy. So if you don't like glowy, you won't like these. These have a little bit of a slippery feeling, which I don't love, but they do look pretty on the cheeks. And then finally, we have the ever so popular Buttermelt Blushes from NYX. I debated decluttering had butter because I don't love an orange on me, but you never know for a certain look. So I'm so sad they're getting rid, or they have already gotten rid of some of my all-time favorite formulas. I'm gonna have to do some research. Let me know down below, what are some of your favorite powder blushes from the drugstore, formulas and shades? Definitely want to know, because this is a lacking category of education for me now. I was really behind the times here, because in total, these are the 18 blushes that I'm getting rid of. I'm like, I might have to hold on to Toasted Cinnamon for the nostalgia for dupes. Like, as in, I'm on the hunt to find a dupe for this. So this is just for self-serving purposes, but the rest I'll get rid of. Like, but this is such a beautiful neutral pinky blush. They really have the best wearable colors. Why did we stop buying these? So they stopped making them. And the Catrice. Okay, bye. Okay, so I definitely think, you know, we're gonna have to reorganize these drawers. But for now, because I still have highlighters that need put away, liquid blushes, and powder blushes, but I have so many cream blushes. I'm just gonna see if I can find a way to organize all of these cream blushes, and then we'll circle back here, because I just have a lot of like formulas. What I mean is a lot of the same formulas in different colors, so I would like to organize them, if possible, together. So let's see. Okay, so here I keep all of my eyeliners, mascaras, eyebrow stuff from the drugstore. Ignore the mess, like I said, we're in transition mode here. But all of these, you know, they go so close to the eyes, so I want to make sure that I get rid of all of the old stuff. So I think what I'm going to do, we'll start off with eyeliners. I have my pencil liners right here. So these are my ColourPop cream gel liners, which I like to keep around because they have a lot of really fun colors from the drugstore or that are affordable. But I'm going to make sure none of these are dried out first. And then we'll go over this little basket here. I can tell you right now, I don't love these hard candy eyeliners. They have no pigment to them, so these are the first to be decluttered. Okay, so I'll just put this to the side for now. First, let's see which ones are dried out and which ones are not. After going through, I really do like the ColourPop gel liners. It's just great to have these affordable options. I'm going to get rid of these 5 because they were dried and I wouldn't use them. Here are the rest of my drugstore eyeliners. I like the L'Oreal Infallible. They do fade a little. Like, I don't love drugstore pencil liners, but I do keep some around for videos, but these do fade. But they do get the job done, so it's like, meh. These are more L'Oreal Infallible. Let's see, what else do I have? The ColourPop Perfect Point Plus. These fade as well. Let's see, how's this e.l.f. one? This e.l.f. is fine. I have these tattoo from Maybelline. Don't really like that color, so I'll get rid of that. I don't remember my thoughts on the Maybelline, so that's why you're not hearing from me. But these are like a weird metallic color, so I don't want that. Yeah, we can keep the pencil liners to a minimum. I'm just not a fan of drugstore pencil liners. Okay, drugstore mascaras. I have a lot here. That's just because a lot of them are older. I'm going to get rid of the Lash Extensionist. This I hated. It's one of the worst mascaras I've ever used. I know it's a very popular one, but this one, in my opinion, just needs to go. Going to get rid of this Call Me Queen from Essence. Don't love it. This from Catrice is old. I don't even remember what I think about that one, so these are fine. This one's fine. This one's fine. Gonna get rid of this Catrice. This is old. So is this mascara primer. I'm going to get rid of Essence Last Princess because that's old. I mean, most of these I'm getting rid of because they're old. Get rid of that one. Oh, that one's in brown. And this one's in black. I'll get rid of the black one. This has to be old. If I can't remember, it's good to just flush it and be fresh with it. And I think these 3 are still good. And then, of course, I have this one unopened. To be honest, a lot of these mascaras are kind of blending into each other for me. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch my own reviews. But I do think I like these, the Maybelline and the L'Oreal. And I think the Colossal was just okay. But anyways, gotta refresh and clean out this drawer. So getting rid of 3, 6, 8 mascaras. Okay, so I'm figuring out the liquid liner situation here, which is not as popular of a product anymore. But here's some of my favorite drugstore liquid liners. I think they do liquid liners much better than gel eyeliners. So the CoverGirl Exhibitionist, one of my all-time favorites. Definitely keeping that. The Milani's Stay Put eyeliner. These ones don't stand out as much to me, but the black one is still good. The brown one is dry, so I'm going to get rid of the brown one. And I have 2 Revlon Color Stay Sharp Line liners. These are really great. Let's see. I just have 2 for some reason. This one seems a little wetter, so get rid of one of those. The 2 iconic NYX eyeliners. Obviously, these are still good, so we'll keep those. And then all of these are some other random liquid liners. We have Hard Candy, Essence, and ColourPop. all of which I'm going to declutter. So just old, time to cycle them out. Don't use them too often. So 7 of these are going, and 5 of these are staying. These go so close to the eyes, I don't mess around. Okay, the brow section, we'll start off with clear brow gels. Immediately going to declutter this Essence one. I don't use it. The Ulta Beauty one is one of my all-time favorites, so I'll keep that. MCO Beauty's pretty good. I'm going to get rid of this e.l.f. one because it's old. I mean, I don't know what's going on here in the corners, but I have a backup of that anyways. Let's see, this ColourPop one. This one's old. We'll get rid of that. This MCO one is really good. Ardell has one of the best laminating brow gel if you really want that laminated, laid down brow. It is like glue. It's so good. This CoverGirl one really doesn't do anything, so I'm going to declutter that. I don't even remember what I think of this Physicians Formula. I'm going to have to look into that. And then we also have the e.l.f. laminating brow gel, which did make my brows fall, but I will hold on to it. And then I have a couple backups here still in the packaging. So these are still good. So we'll just get rid of these 4. Now, tinted brow products here, I have this e.l.f. brow palette, which I really, really enjoy, but it is old, so I'm going to declutter that. This would be my only affordable brow powder, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Let's see here. So these are all tinted brow gels. So I'll keep the NYX, which is not my favorite, but I'm going to get rid of the Ardell Artist Brow, which is old. I'll keep the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And I'm going to get rid of the Moira brow gel. This one is not bad. It really is not. But I just really don't like tinted brow gel, so I don't see myself even using that for a video. Now, these 2 from Maybelline, again, I don't love these, or the style of product is particularly this one I don't like, but Maybelline is such a popular brand that I do need it for content. So we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of these 3 tinted brow products. Okay, and then the last section I have are brow pencil products. So we have the, what is this? So there's some stuff that I don't know if they still exist or not, so I'm gonna put these to the side and research. Like, I don't know about this from NYX, so I'm gonna look that up. I really do enjoy, in particular, the gel side of these Build-A-Brows from Maybelline. They are so, so good. But the pen is not bad either, but I do prefer a pencil most of the time. Super good. Going to declutter this Limitless Enhancer from Ardell. Super duper good, just super duper old. I kept these Catrice Hero highlighters because I did really enjoy them, but I actually haven't ended up using them. So I'm gonna get rid of those. Here's my old Build-A-Brow. It looks really foggy, so I'm gonna get rid of that. So we're definitely gonna keep the NYX brow pencil. This is classic. Potentially the e.l.f. I wanna look that one up. ColourPop, why do I have multiple colors? I think I'm just gonna keep Bangin' Brunette and get rid of the other 2. I have a couple different colors of the NYX. I need to look up this LA Girl. This Kokie one is really nice, but I don't use Kokie on my channel. I hated this faux brow thing. This thing, it was a mess, but it's still fairly new, so I'm gonna keep it, even though it's awful. Does e.l.f. still sell these? I hope they do. Not sure about this NYX Zero to Brow Gel, and not sure about this CoverGirl. Okay, so these few are definite keeps. I'm gonna look these up to make sure there's a point of them being in my collection. Okay, so actually, as it turns out, ColourPop is trying to clear out their brow pencils. They must be starting anew, so decluttering those. I did really like the LA Girl brow pencil, but mine is dried out. And then this CoverGirl one no longer exists, so we're gonna get rid of that one too. And then some of my favorite drugstore brow pencils would be the e.l.f. Instant, the NYX, of course, just the regular NYX. I don't know why I just called it that. And e.l.f. is fine. These 3 liquid ones from the drugstore, NYX and L'Oreal, don't love these, but they're trendy, so they must stay. We're getting rid of 11 items overall from that container. And look at this, you guys. We got rid of, you know, all of the old stuff. So everything in here is fresher. I might consolidate this a little bit, like put brow gels in here. We'll see, because I am trying to make room. But for now, we'll leave it like this. Now, the next drawer are singles. So I have all of my ColourPop Super Shocks, which every single year I go through and I make sure they're not dry. So I'm actually going to do that off camera, and I honestly think I want to start fresh with my ColourPop Super Shocks anyways, and see what shades are permanent and what is worth keeping, and get rid of like the limited edition old ones, because I do find it hard to keep up with for you guys. So for video purposes, I'm gonna actually really cleanse these today. And then I think we'll start with the Super Shocks, and then we'll get into the pencils, the liquids, etc. Alright guys, so take a look at my station right now. I have ColourPop pulled up on my laptop, and I am separating discontinued versus ones in the regular range. And this is the only way that makes most sense for me to hold on to these Super Shock shadows, because they just don't last forever. There's no reason to hoard them unless, you know, I could potentially use them for a video. So I have some really nice collections here, but I have like the B21 collection, the Princess collection, and some of the shades are just so beautiful. So I want to gift those to friends and family before they go bad. And then with ColourPop, I do get their PR frequently enough that, you know, I get some Super Shock shades added, and if I really needed them, I could buy what I want. So I still need to go through these to see which ones are permanent or not. I'm gonna go by color, I think. But anyways, enjoy. All of these were all old, like limited edition ones that they don't sell anymore. Some of them are so gorgeous. I can't wait to give those away. These are all of the permanent ones that I have, which it's not bad, honestly. I'm going to make sure these aren't dried out, but for now I'm going to get these out of the way, and then I'm going to make sure all of these are good. So at the end of it all, I'm actually getting rid of 48 Super Shock shadows. And I'm only keeping 9. I actually had 9 more just enter my collection recently. If you watched, which one was it? It was like a new drugstore video. I got 9 new Super Shock shadows, which encouraged me and motivated me to completely refresh and renew my Super Shock collection. So we've really whittled this down. Okay, so here are a lot of my singles. I have all of my sticks over here, but let's start off with these. I can tell you right now, I'm going to declutter the Flower Beauty Chrome Crush pigments. These are very pretty. Look at that. But, you know, I've been clearing out the Flower Beauty stuff. This e.l.f. No Budge Cream Shadow was beautiful. They have a couple neutral shades on their website still, but they've discontinued this shade. So I've got to make room. I'm also going to declutter these liquid shadows from e.l.f., which were pretty good. I think better exists out there, but these are dried out. I have some Essence Luminous eye tints, which I think are very pretty. They're a little tight on the eye, but I'm going to go ahead and keep these, as well as this Pixie Green glitter, which is very glittery, but I actually don't have too much glitter from the drugstore, so I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this. Have a little of a Fenty dupe here from Lottie London, which I've gotten rid of most Lottie London stuff, but this one is a good one, so I'm gonna keep that. It's a good dupe. And I love the J-Cat Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousses. If you haven't tried these, they are phenomenal. However, this is old, so it's gonna go. I'm gonna keep this underrated L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, which is like a cream powder eyeshadow. Really beautiful. Again, very underrated, a product nobody talks about, but luckily it is still available. I do have these LA Girl liquid glitters, which I don't know. I think I'm gonna declutter these. I don't need these. I haven't reached for these very often at all. That is beautiful. Is it not? But I don't know, I guess I'm in a cutthroat mood today. I'm getting rid of a lot for me. Now when we get into the shadow sticks, oh, I almost forgot. I am going to declutter these multi-chrome liquid shadows from ColourPop. They are great. These were just limited edition shades, so if I were to add these to my collection, I would only add permanent shades. I do have some ColourPop shadow sticks. I'm going to go ahead and keep all of these. These are from the Wings collection, which was limited edition, but they are so beautiful, and these are multi-chrome, and then I have one regular one. Just as you can see, I haven't even opened these, but I keep them because they're kind of classics. The Milk Makeup Jumbo Stick, just black and white. You never know. My favorite eyeshadow stick, and they're unopened because I got a fresh set recently, so I was excited. And I like to keep them sealed if I can until I need them. But these are the best shadow sticks from the drugstore, the Lace Shadow Sticks from L'Oreal. So if you want the best ones, 100% these. I'm looking, making sure I have no repeats. I don't, but yeah, the reason that they are unopened is because I got a set semi-recently in PR. So I wanted to keep them fresh. And then the remainder of the eyeshadow sticks, the Color Tattoo from Maybelline. These are great because they have different finishes. However, they're a bit drier. They're still good. They're kind of the competition of L'Oreal, so we'll hold on to that. And then Milani's also good. Fades a little bit, just not as good as the L'Oreal, but we'll keep these. The Catrice ones are really, really pretty and very creamy. However, they are not available in the US for some reason now. They took them off the shelves, so I'm going to find a new home for these because they are very lovely. And from that section, I mean, we got rid of 4, 8, 10, 14, 16 items. So keeping these and then getting rid of these 16, getting rid of these 16 items here. Some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. Okay, we barely have anything in this drawer now. See, I have like my shadow sticks, Super Shock shadows. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we can combine these two drawers. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I mean, it's not like the the most neat looking, but everything's organized. Eyeliners, eyebrows, mascara, eyeshadow sticks, and my Super Shock shadows. So, work in progress, but yay. So this next drawer, this was to satisfy an older version of me. This is all ColourPop lip products, which I love a good ColourPop lip combo because they have every product imaginable, and I'm always very attracted and attached to like their limited edition stuff. But since I'm cleansing my soul here, I really only want to keep what is available to you guys for when I ever do lip combos and stuff. So I'm going to pull all these out, and unless there's a specific collection that I really favor, I'm going to get rid of one. Of course, what's old, but then whatever you guys can't replicate in terms of a lip combo. So let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. So this is going to be definitely one of the more boring sections that you're going to watch. You can see I have my laptop pulled up here because I'm just going to cross-reference shades that are existing in the line, limited edition shades, formulas, and all of that. Now, one of my all-time favorite formulas from ColourPop was just their regular Luxe Cream Bullet Lipsticks, and I'm sick because they've discontinued these, so it just doesn't make sense for me to keep them. And I know like people feel like this is going to go in the trash. For the most part, it's not. I don't share a lot of times what I do when I give away these big things just because I just do them. It's not that big of a deal to me, even though it is to people on the internet. So like for all of the unused lip stuff that is still good. For example, I have a box pulled I'm giving away to a theater program at a local high school. So yeah, for those wondering, that's where some of this stuff is going to go. I've been working on filling a couple boxes for those kids. And I think this ColourPop stuff, the unswatched stuff, will be great to give them. Some formulas that they have that I haven't talked too much about. The Plump and Gloss Bombs. How they've discontinued the cream lipsticks, but not these, makes me really, really sad because I love the cream lipsticks so much. But these are still available, and they're decent, but I think there's better formulas. The Luxe Lip Oils still exist. I think they're a bit thin for my preference. Another one of my favorite formulas from ColourPop that they've evilly discontinued are these glowing lips, which makes me so sad. These are better than the cream lipsticks. These were my all-time favorite, but I was searching through their website. They've officially been discontinued, so I'll probably get rid of these, even though it kills me. Just a Tints, don't love these, but these are still around. They do give a nice tint to the lip. I'll show you. Like, they're a nice product, but I just like some other ColourPop lip products better. And I have some fun limited edition stuff that... First, we're going to tackle this, then I'll go over the limited edition stuff with you. I think one limited edition item that I can already see is going to go is this. It smells good still, but this is just a little Pokemon lip balm that I thought was adorable, but honestly, it's old, so that one will go. Let me go through all of these lipsticks because they do have to go. I'm like double checking, are they really discontinued? They are. It looks like they do have some in particular collections, but as a whole, they don't sell these. So I know a lot of these I've purposefully not swatched in case of occasions like this. So if they are unswatched, they will be donated. Let's see. Their Luxe Lip Oils do exist. However, these are not shades that they sell anymore. They were from limited edition collections. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. One that I am going to hold on to, even though it's from an older collection, they don't sell this anymore. But there was something about this Mulan collection that I love. And I love this red. So for personal use, I want to keep this. This is me being a little selfish. So since I know for a fact that these three formulas are still in the range, I'm going to go through the website and see what I have and what I don't have. But I mean, I've gotten rid of like 75% of this ColourPop collection. It just had to be done. I will admit, like, very, very unnecessary for me to have kept as much as I did. It was like, I just love ColourPop lip products for a quick combo. But since ColourPop constantly discontinues things, and I love their collections, it's a hard balance of do I want to keep it or not. But let's see which shades I will keep and not keep. Sorry, I'm just talking today. I'm just rambling. Is that it? Wow. I just looked, I literally only have one shade that they still sell, so we will get rid of the rest of these. So this Ultra Blotted Lip in Jet Setter was limited edition, so that will go. I will be keeping one of their best-selling liquid lipsticks, Beeper, which is an amazing nude shade. It is definitely one of their best sellers, so we're going to keep that. I have a lot of juicy lip balms to go through. I already see we have Cyberstar. I'm going to go over the unopened ones first. If they end up on the side, that means I will be getting rid of them. Okay, turns out I did have the whole collection. So, underwhelming, but we're going to keep all of those. Now, I have a lot of lip scrubs and lip masks, and these are new, you guys. It's just a matter of, like, I don't need as many. So, like, Orange Vanilla doesn't sound as good to me, so I'm going to get rid of that. Pistachio Gelato, I can get rid of. I haven't even used that one. Jelly Donut is so strange. So I definitely want to keep the chocolate lip mask. And these aren't the best lip masks in the world, by the way, but they get the job done. I'm actually just going to put some on right now. And I like their flavors. They recently added new flavors. So while not as good as some of my favorites, I use them for the novelty. And this literally tastes like a chocolate milkshake. I do like their lip scrubs a lot though. So definitely will keep vanilla cake, both of these. So we narrowed down the yummy flavors to these. I use this one, yes. But I'm going to get rid of orange vanilla. Not a flavor I like as much. Okay, so this little section over here. I love the little ColourPop limited edition stuff. But these have got to go. Some of these. Like this Frosty the Snowman. So my favorite collections from ColourPop are the holiday collections. And I do make an effort every holiday season to break into them. But this one has those glossy lip balms that I love that they no longer sell. So I'm going to get rid of these. I'm just putting them into the giveaway bins. Let's see if I want to hold on to this one. Like I said, these are fun for me in the holidays. So this is also from the Frosty the Snowman. Wouldn't call it old, but I can get rid of them. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, though, was my favorite collection from them. This one is pretty because it's a nude. It's just so cute. This one is still good, but you know what? No, we don't need them. Give that away. Let's see what I want to do with the Rudolph. Oh, I just love this. If it doesn't smell like crayons, I'm keeping it. It doesn't smell like crayons. I'm keeping it. Like, look at this beautiful packaging. It's just a gorgeous red shade with a matching lip liner. Again, holiday season lips. Fun, festive. Let's see this one. I think you're cute. ColourPop's been doing a really good job with their collections. This one's still good too. This one is more of a nude shade. Another fun collection was the Barbie collection. I think it has to have been one of their best-selling collections. Let's look at these colors. How cute is this packaging? And I just love the pinks. See, these are fun. I can keep some nostalgic, right? Don't scold me too much. I've already gotten rid of so much. And these are the Luxe lipsticks, so definitely plan on keeping these beautiful nude shades. What color is this one? This is the one I liked the least. It's a Barbie color for sure, but did I swatch this? I don't think I did. Anyways, that one can go. And then this one was also one of my favorite collections from ColourPop. You know, if you were a ColourPop fan back in the day, this definitely got to be exciting for you. Look, these are the Ultra Blotted Lip and Glossy Lip, but you know what? I don't even like these formulas, and I don't like the colors in this one. I just like the packaging, but actually we can get rid of that. What about this one? It's such an old collection, too. I do like these colors better. But you know what? I'll actually never, ever use these. At least with the other ones, I liked the colors. So I can get rid of this one, too. I just liked the packaging, but it's literally cardboard. And then this one I'm sad to say goodbye to. This is such a good little lipstick vault. It was when they did the Disney Princess collection. But these are all super good colors, and it's still good condition. I have swatched all of them, so this will have to go to a family friend. But someone's gonna really, really love this. So I'm gonna give that away because I have no use for it. We still have a couple more formulas. Let me grab them. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm going through some of my lippy pencils from ColourPop, just getting rid of the old ones, the limited edition ones. Some of them are staining my fingers. Like, look at that. So the ones that are staining, I'm also going to get rid of because what on earth? That is so random, silly. That one's trash. I just threw another one in the trash. Let's see. Some kind of stains my finger, but that's okay. Anyways, I just needed to show you that. How strange. I was gonna spare you and do this off camera because it's boring just refreshing this collection, but some of them are staining my hands, and that is super duper strange. Okay, it became a bit of a mess, but lip liners. I have the whole So Juicy plumping lip liners, which are okay. They're not my favorite. I honestly prefer just their original, but I have the whole range here. And then all of these are my just regular lip pencil liner collection from ColourPop that I keep around because these are fantastic for dupes, for just generic lips combos that you guys can do. And then these are either duplicates or they were limited edition shades, so you can't get them anymore. So these will be given away. And then these are the ones that had like that horrible packaging that stains. So I'm just gonna throw these away because they get everywhere. And unfortunately, do you remember when ColourPop used to do these lips all the time? They have all different kinds of formulas. We have like the lip creams, the lip glosses, lip blackers, glossy lip stains. Some I liked more than others. They've completely discontinued this range. So all of these I'm gonna get rid of because they have a whole bunch of other new lip products. So of that entire drawer, you guys, I can't even show you how much I'm decluttering because it's too much. Decluttering slash giving away, donating, you know. Keeping most of the lip liners, but this is it. I have just pretty much freed a drawer. So this isn't even about what I'm getting rid of. It's like, what am I actually keeping? And just these items from the ColourPop lip line. And I can rebuild if necessary with, you know, being responsible and whatnot. But that's that drawer. I just roughly counted, nothing too official here, but I'm getting rid of like almost 100. We'll just say 100 because I did throw a couple in the trash that had to go. But decluttering 100 ColourPop lip items, that's actually insane. But over the years as I've collected my ColourPop stuff, they've just discontinued stuff. And honestly, I feel really light about this. So I'm very, very happy with this. This next drawer, just as intimidating, but we have to go through it. I don't even, it's random lip products. I think matte lip products because I have glossy lip products in the next drawer. All right, lip liners. I went through, saw what was discontinued, what was not, and honestly, all of these are fairly fresh in my collection, so I'm not decluttering much. I'm just going to start off by showing you what I'm decluttering because, again, I love having drugstore lip dupes. I know I don't do them a lot, okay? But I like knowing I could if I wanted to. But I'm going to declutter these four. I know, pretty pitiful. But let's see, I'm decluttering this Essence lip pencil because I feel like it's dry. This is a e.l.f. lip pencil color that's no longer available. I really do like this Palladio Nearly Neutral, or Nearly Nude, excuse me, lip liner. But I just have so many other options. And then I had a duplicate of Nude Beige from NYX. So those are good. So I'm going to at least show you some formulas that I like. So we have the Rimmel Lasting Finish. Rimmel is really not that popular of a brand in the US, but they have really great kind of like coffee color tones. So that's why I like these. The Revlon Color Stay. I'll be honest, I haven't used these in a while. I just know that I really like the colors that they have, which is why I'm putting on to these. I do not love, even though these are very, very popular, I do not love the Makeup Revolution pout liners. They're actually copycats of Too Faced. I'm going to get rid of the clear one because that's just unnecessary, but these are quite popular. These are not lip liners, but you can use it if you want. I really like these. I worked with them on a campaign on this years and years ago. These are the Revlon Color Stay Matte Lip Light Crayons. They're just really comfortable and they have great colors. I love wearing these around the time of the holidays. And Hard Candy. I love all of these from Hard Candy. So they have the Instapout lip liners. These are just quickies. Not many of the drugstore lip liners I find set like I want them to. So they tend to just be more cream, but they're great to blend out and whatnot. But I really like these. These are thicker. And then we also have their lipsticks and lip shines, which were one of my favorite drugstore releases in this last year. I think that these are incredible. They're oh, excuse me, they're not lip liners, but they're thin, so that's why they're here, but they're lovely. Some other lip liners. These are just kind of middle of the road. They don't really stick out to me. These are the Catrice Plumping lip liners. These are a big fat okay. We know NYX is the place to go for cheap lip liners in great colors. So a lot of people have NYX, so I like to hold on to those. The Maybelline Lifter Liner is the closest you're probably going to get to like a gel that sets down. And then I almost decluttered these Love Triangle e.l.f. lip liners, but no, I'm going to. Actually, these smell expired. Yeah, we'll get rid of those. But these are not expired from e.l.f. These are their Cream Glide lip liners. In fact, they have some new shades because they added some new shades to their range this year. And these are very good. They don't last the longest, but you can build them up. So not many being decluttered from this drawer. It wasn't necessary, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out. Okay, so I have my Maybelline matte lipstick collection here, and I love Maybelline lips. I think they do one of the best jobs in the market for matte lip products. I am going to do a big refresh though, because they have completely redone and repackaged their Super Stay Matte Ink line. These are the best, longest lasting liquid lipsticks on the market. They are my most recommended if you want a color to last through an event. The majority of these have been discontinued. I only have 3 colors that are still available, so I'm going to keep these. And I'm happy with starting fresh anyways. I've had a lot of these for a while, but I am sad that I'm starting fresh on this collection because I love, love, love these lipsticks. But they have a whole new collection for me to play with and new colors. So I'm just going to give away how many? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, like 19 of these and start fresh. But everything else that I had was pretty good. These also last a super long time. I don't like these quite as much as just the Super Stay ink. These are the vinyls, so they start off with almost like wet on the lips, I guess. And then I have a lot of the Super Stay Teddy Tints, which these are more sheer, more K-Beauty inspired, and these are very, very popular, so I'm going to hold on to what I have. I do also like their pencil stick formulas, like the ink crayons. Now, the Instamattes are very, very, are these? No, the Ultimatte, excuse me. The ones on the top, these are very, very matte. They're not my preferred. I prefer these ink crayons. And then I'm also decluttering just some duplicate colors / limited edition colors that are no longer sold, so it doesn't serve a purpose in my collection. So what, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 25 of these I am going to declutter. And that has really lightened up the load. But I do hope to build on the new Super Stay Matte Ink line because these were my favorite. Here is the final batch. Are we clear? Yeah, here's the final batch of my drugstore liquid lipsticks. So the Essence ones, the matte liquid lipsticks, I'm not going to say they're the best formula in the world. They're very, very drying. However, they have some of the best shades. One of my favorite ones, I always get asked, Pink Blush. I always get asked what I'm wearing when I'm wearing this one. So they're dry, but they're cheap and they have great colors. Pixie Beauty, these are a new product from them. These are the lip blushes. Unfortunately, I don't really love the shades. I'm just going to keep the 2 lightest shades, and I'm going to get rid of these 3 that are too bright and that I'd never wear, but I'm keeping these because they're a new product. Milani also has a somewhat drying lip formula, but with really great colors. I mean, 10 out of 10 is gorgeous, iconic, I really, really love. And they just have great range. These I have not tried before. You're going to have to let me know what you guys think of these. The Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. I don't know why I put them in my makeup drawer. Normally when I haven't tried something, I try to keep it out, but this one just landed here, so we'll keep those. I have a Seichu lip liner stain. This I don't love, but it's a very popular product. NYX has narrowed down their soft matte lip cream line. I mean, these, I think, they've been a product that's been around for years and years and years. Huge color range. And I think this formula is kind of back in style. So these can have their moment again. There were a few shades that I think already might have put in. Oh no, there they are. These are a couple of shades. Los Angeles was my favorite. I'm kind of sad that were discontinued, and then Dubai, so I'll get rid of those. For these lip products, I've done a little research beforehand on which ones I'm decluttering or not, just to save time. I cannot tell you what I think of these. They're all blending together in my head for these liquid lipsticks. I just know I tend to go for Maybelline as opposed to other brands, but we have the Revlon Satin Inks. And then, actually, no, I do really like this red from L'Oreal. L'Oreal has great reds, but those I'm keeping. And then everything else up here I've already decided to declutter. So I have this shade from Milani is no longer available. This is an old product that I've had for a while, this lip cream. And then this Revlon Color Stay Satin Ink is no longer sold. Didn't love the Lip Shift ink from Revolution. I mean, I think they did a good job of duping the Seichu, but I don't like this style of product. So that's why I'm getting rid of it. And then I'm also, these are not bad. These are fairly new. From Profusion, they're the Hydrating Lip Stain. But if I'm being honest, they are somewhat forgettable, and I just won't use them. So all of these are being decluttered. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then I'll be keeping the rest. So I've already put all of my Maybelline lip stuffs in, and I think I'm gonna have to redo how I've done all these drawers, but for now, I wanna get them in kind of a space. I do have another drawer besides this last one that we're gonna organize, so this isn't it, but this is the last drawer in this specific unit that we're gonna go through. These are my lip glosses and lip oils. There is absolutely zero organization here, so I'm gonna clear this out. How incredible is this? So I've organized all of my lip glosses by brand. I have huge Milani section. Elf is here. Catrice, Essence. I have a lot of CoverGirl, but that's over to the side. I'm going to spend some time looking up discontinued shades and formulas. But first I did want to talk about some of my favorite, least favorite formulas. I do really enjoy the Milani lip oils. I think these are a really comfortable, hydrating option with amazing flavors from the drugstore. Also great pigment. So this is definitely where you want to look. I know I have a lot of limited edition collections in here, so unfortunately I will have to give some away. Fortunately, to those who will receive them, they'll get some great lip oils. But I love the Milani lip glosses in general, like the plumping one, the non-plumping one. Well, this one is plumping. I guess these all are plumping now. They've kind of changed that around. I have my e.l.f. lip oil, which I think Milani is way better than the e.l.f., but these are very popular. These are a little too thin for me and my preferences. Palladio has some great lip products if you are looking for a somewhat more affordable brand. I really loved this pinky lip oil. It's more like a lip gloss than a lip oil, and their butter balms are really hydrating. So I love the Palladio lip products. However, I will be decluttering just because I don't talk about them too much on my channel, so they're wasted space, but I'm gonna make sure somebody I like gets these because they are really nice. We'll probably also declutter. Well, no, I do like MCO Beauty, especially now that you can get them from Target. But I'll probably go ahead. I'm just going to throw the ones that I know I'm decluttering right away. But I do want to add that these are just super duper hydrating. This Revlon Jelly Tint I bought in Japan. That's why I don't recognize it. Interesting. I didn't end up using it, so we'll have to give that away. I get these in my collection from time to time from Essence. They're fine, but they're not a favorite of mine, so I'm gonna give that away. So these are just things for sure that I know I won't use. Oh, I do like the hard candy lip oils. I think these are a really, really great drugstore option as well. Let's see what else. You guys know one of my favorite drugstore lip glosses are the Maybelline Lifter glosses, so I have a stock of these. The Essence Extreme Shine is really nice. I'm gonna get rid of this Catrice Lip Jam hydrating lip gloss. I just know I won't use it. I definitely need to go through the NYX and e.l.f. collections because I have a bunch of random stuff that I'm not even sure that they sell anymore. So you kind of got the gist. I think these are a bit overrated. From L'Oreal, the Plump Ambition Hyaluronic Oil, but they're very popular, so I'll keep them. These went viral from Catrice, and they're really, really cool. I don't know if I'm going to end up keeping them, but give me a second. I want to look online, see what's worth keeping or not. I do see these collections, so Fantasy Cosmetica, this was just in the wrong drawer, but these Beauty Creations lip oils, they were kind of mid for me. I love Beauty Creations, but I don't think this is their best product, so I'm gonna get rid of these. Okay, and then we'll start off here. Catrice is one of those brands that truly give me whiplash. Even things that are viral from them, they will get rid of, and sometimes it's in the EU, and it's not in the US. Anyways, like half of the products from them are no longer sold. Like I was surprised these little lip boosters are no longer available in the US, but these were pretty cool. I did like these. I kept a couple of them, but trying to be logical here, how gorgeous are these Marblicious, which again, these were really cool because they were a dupe of a luxury product, but again, they are nowhere to be found. What they do still have is available, are the diamond glazes, which these are actually a very, very good glittery drugstore lip gloss. So I definitely want to hold on to these. Thank goodness Essence isn't doing us dirty like that. So the extreme shine lip glosses can stay because those ones are so good. Even though I wasn't in love with these, I considered decluttering these, but I do think I'll hold on to them. Essence is just so affordable. It's great to have these options. I'll hold on to MCO Beauty. This is still available. And thank goodness, because hard candy is a little unpredictable about what's available and what's not. These are still good to go. But we cut this little section down a little bit. Okay, the next brand was NYX and e.l.f. Honestly, I need to refresh and retest a lot of these lip products because I cannot remember what I think about the majority of them because they have so many different formulas. Now, in terms of what I'm getting rid of from NYX, this is Juice Gloss. It's really, really shiny, but it's very slippery and it comes off quickly, so I'm going to get rid of that. But let's see. Here are the rest of the NYX formulas that I have. Just kind of one of each to have each formula. This Shine Loud is what brought NYX back, and it's a really cool concept. We have the Fat Slick Click Fat Oil, the Duck Plump, which is very, very spicy on the lips, and then the classic Butter Gloss, which every few years my collection regrows, and then it gets old, and it's an endless cycle, but it's like a good, affordable lip gloss. I used to have these a few of these in my bridal kit when I did bridal makeup. Anyways, I like having 1 to 2 of each formula. Open to growing the collection sometimes. So keeping those. What I'm getting rid of from e.l.f. are these 2 limited edition sets. So this is from the collab they did with that actress. I can't remember at the top of my head. And then they no longer sell the Sheer Slick. They just replaced it with a new version and packaging, so I'm going to get rid of those. But, you know, I have all these different formulas from e.l.f., and I know it's literally my job to review makeup, but it's been a while since I've played in the e.l.f. lip products, and I mean, I have a good number of products from their range. This is a brand where if you want a new lip, you pick it up at the store because it's really affordable, but I don't want to give inaccurate reviews, and these are forgettable to me. I don't love them. They're just kind of there and they get the job done. I only know the lip oils, which I told you are not my favorite, but they do get the job done. They're like not a bad pickup at all. And then I just went through Milani and I was certain I had all of these limited edition collection colors, which I do, but they've kept them in the range. So my XXL Keep It Fulls, my regular Keep It Fulls, and my favorite lip oils were all good. The only one that was truly limited edition and no longer sold is the pumpkin spice, which does make me sad because I do like pumpkin, but yay, I can keep all of these. I know, super greedy, super overconsumption. I get it, but I don't care. I mean, yay! Let me lay out my CoverGirl and Maybelline because those are larger collections. I'm gonna move these and reorganize these. Here's the remainder of the lip gloss collection. The CoverGirl Yummy Glosses are my absolute favorite, I think. It's a big statement to say that. But enough so to where I've collected each color and kept each color, even in the plumping here. So I had all of the shades. There was only one, this Glamingo Pink. Can't find it anywhere, so just got rid of one. Also, these jelly water tints. Not normally a fan of products like these, but these are very good. So holding on to these. They did just launch this summer. Same thing with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh little lip balm tints. Normally I'm not a fan of products like these, but you know what? These are really, really nice. Over the years, my Maybelline Lifter Gloss collection has whittled down, but I still do love, love, love these glosses. So I just went through. There were 3, and they seem to be from like darker shades. These 3 are no longer sold, so I will get rid of these. But if I happened to have them and they were still available, I would keep them. I think, though, Maybelline Lifter Glosses used to be kind of my go-to recommendation for drugstore gloss, but nowadays it's been more about the CoverGirl. So just a few more. I didn't get rid of a ton of glosses. Let me show you. So all in all, I've ended up decluttering 29 different lip glosses. I'll be honest, I thought I was going to end up decluttering more than just 29, but hey, it's definitely a number that adds up, and it will lighten up the load a little bit. Yeah, this lip gloss drawer is hard because I still have all of these, even with getting rid of, which is why we have more drawers available to us. But I just try to organize by brand because that will help a lot. Milani, CoverGirl, Maybelline, e.l.f., L'Oreal. I think I'm just going to put this rest aside of all the other brands, and when I get to reorganizing, this will be later, I will put these in a different drawer. My loves, this is the final drawer in today's declutter. This is my lipstick collection. So I do have a unit here. Most of this is just random stuff, but because not all of my drugstore stuff fit in that one unit that I keep out in my room, I have stored my drugstore lipsticks here. So I'm going to take these out and we're going to go through these, but this is it. And we have a lot and it's overflowed, as you can see. Okay, let's take a look at what we are working with here. I'll go over some formulas and then also get rid of the things that I know I will be decluttering right away. Like I just pulled aside, this is Mochalicious from Wet n Wild. It is old, so I don't want that to go to anybody. Which one was also old? This one from Maybelline, Baddest Beige. Beautiful shade, but smells like crayons, so that needs to go. And I don't want MCO Beauty. This is a NARS dupe. This isn't old, I just want to give it away. I won't use it. Now let's talk, oh, this one also from CoverGirl. This is a discontinued formula from them. It's new though, like still good, so I will get rid of that. Let's talk some formulas here. So I have up front the e.l.f. lipstick formulas. These are really, really gorgeous formula. Very nice quality, lots of shades. And then I also have their little cheap lipsticks. I'm gonna double check if they still sell these or not. I can't remember. But these are decent. They don't have as nice longevity on the lips as the other. I will get rid of Dirty Pillows from that limited edition collection. Unfortunately, my all-time favorite affordable lipstick line was Flower Beauty. These guys in particular, and these hold a lot of nostalgia for me because I used to use these in my bridal kit. These were my colors of choice. I always recommended them to my brides because I had my stock, but at their trials, I would tell them, buy this lipstick so you can reapply it, and I didn't feel bad because it's not an expensive formula, and they had the most beautiful neutral bridal shades, but as you know, the brand is no longer. Peachy Nude was one of my bridal favorites, so I'm just going to get rid of those even though they weren't my fave. Milani has some really great lipsticks that I'm going to go through, make sure I have no duplicates of. They have a more shiny formula and a more of a matte formula that I'll go through. Just trying to get it organized here in my head. I have some L'Oreal, different formulas. L'Oreal lipsticks seem to be coming back. These smell like the 2000s to me, but they're still very nice, and I feel like their packaging is pretty high quality, all things considered. Like, I haven't even touched this one. This one is like a 90s color. Worth It Intense. I'm gonna have to use these. I'm actually really inspired looking at my drugstore lip collection here. These are one of my favorite formulas from the drugstore. They're the melting lip balm plumping things from Hard Candy. It's a name that they don't have on the packaging, but I love these. These, you could put a high-end price tag. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. The drugstore has kick butt lipsticks. I love a luxury lipstick as well, but you are not for want when it comes to the drugstore. Look at this. This is from Makeup Revolution, and their line, really gorgeous packaging, but it was hard to get the stickers off, but they have a lot of really gorgeous nude shades in the range. And then I also, for something a little bit more hydrating, I did really love the CoverGirl as well, and I do love the clear packaging also, so you can see the true color. These are very creamy in a nice way. Let's see what other formulas we have. Like, pretty much I love all of these drugstore lipsticks. I love e.l.f., love Milani, love Makeup Revolution. All of them are so fantastic. Let's see. Essence. This is nude. I think I can declutter this one. I believe they no longer sell this. I have one solo Revlon lipstick, but I really love this shade. What is your name? I bought this specifically because it was used on a celebrity. Bare It All. It's such a pretty everyday nude. And then these are pretty good too. I don't normally like these glossy butter bombs, but from Essence, these were a fun summer launch. So I'll hold on to these. So I'm just going to quickly take inventory of these, make sure I have no duplicates or discontinued shades. But you guys, already just with that little walkthrough, we did empty a few. Okay, I went through, I made sure I had no duplicates in colors, and I moved everything up. I made sure all the labels were in order. So this is much more organized. Turns out e.l.f. no longer sells these little cheapies. Do you guys remember these? They came off the lips too quickly anyways. What they have is so much better. Then I just had a couple other lipsticks. So I didn't declutter very much from here, but I got it much more organized, and it'll be much easier to find everything. And then I'm decluttering 22 different lipsticks. Whew. You guys, we did it. I have officially decluttered, reorganized, gone through, took inventory of my entire affordable and drugstore collection. That low-key took me weeks to do. I was like wearing a different outfit in every clip because I would organize a little bit and then I'd get tired and then I'd pick it up a few days later. So at this point, I'm finishing this about to give birth in 2.5-ish weeks. So it definitely got very tasking towards the end in terms of other declutters that I have. I still do need to declutter my eyeshadow palette, but I don't think we're doing that before I give birth to this baby. Anyways, thank you so much if you made it through to the end. Oh my gosh, you are committed. If you want another super long declutter, I already have up, I think my high-end and luxury declutter is almost 3-4 hours long. If you want something to throw on in the background, I'd really appreciate it. As you guys know, I'm currently on my maternity leave when you're watching this. Wait, that is crazy. I just talked about how I'm giving birth in 2.5 weeks, but when you're watching this, the baby is here. How exciting is that? So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. Something in the background, just looking at products, nosy people looking through my drawers. Love that for you. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, I'll be back very soon.
It's delicious.